depending on when you might be watching this. As you can see, I've managed to get my shrine in the picture, and I'm in a celebratory sort of mood, mixed with a bit of I don't know, melancholy, sadness. So it's the last one of these meditations that I'm leading. We're on our last week on Friday. Sanghaketu is hoping quite a few of us who've led these will assemble, and well, we'll give everyone a rousing goodbye in some way or other. So yeah, it's going to be the usual loving kindness meditation. And I was saying in our intro course last night in Blackburn, it's so necessary, loving kindness. It might sound a little bit insipid, a little bit. It's not warrior-like, is it? But it's such a strong, important factor that we can bring. You know, if we develop this, if we can build up this robust love for ourselves and the world, you know, in gradual steps, obviously, like we do, what a difference it could make. And you know, you only need to look at the news and, in a way, look around you. It's so needed. It really is the factor, the necessary ingredient for improving our lives and our world, really. So, good morning, Karen. Oh, good morning, Sarah. I'll have to get to meet you, won't I? You know, this is only good up to a point, but it's still a wonderful community. I mean, that's the thing that I wanted to focus on today, that we're a community of meditators and aspiring, loving kindness people. And what a wonderful sort of bunch to be involved with. I feel quite honoured to be, you know, to be asked to sort of lead these. Yeah, good morning, Chris. And yeah, it's been quite a journey for me personally, but well, yeah, I'm as I say, I feel honoured to be able to, you know, to sort of do this and sort of learn as I go along, and hopefully be able to present something really worthwhile. So, by Ryakan, and nothing especially happens in the poem, but it's out in, and he really evokes the refreshing sort of nature of nature. He really communicates something of what I think we are trying to, not directly metta or loving kindness, but more a meditative state of mind, more a reflective kind of relaxing, being at ease with the world. You know, and I think Ryakan, I can't remember, 19th century Japanese poet, but he really sort of evokes a certain sort of mood, a certain way of being. So good morning, Lorraine and Philippa. Yeah, good morning to everyone, and anyone who's watching later. Vinesh, Sean. So we have this wonderful few minutes to just arrive, and I'm going to have a little drink of my coffee. This mug is very important to me because it's got some of my grandchildren on it. I say some of my grandchildren because they seem to keep arriving every so often. So if there's not time to do a full body scan, at least we can tune into our bodies. We can sort of get a sense of the feet, buttocks on the seat or the cushion, and how we are in the upper part of our body. I often feel a tension around the stomach area. In fact, years ago, I used to have an ulcer around there, working under extreme pressure, you see. And, you know, we can't control our circumstances altogether. You know, we have jobs to do, we've got responsibilities. We might be in relationships that are quite demanding, as it were. But I think we can all kind of influence. You know, this is the key to moving things forward. We might not control our environment and our relationships and and the things that we're involved in, but we can influence, we can have an effect, and that's an important thing to take on board. Uh, yeah, I, I wrote to Boris Johnson last week, and some government department will read my email, and will sort of note it, or so. At least you get the feeling. Well, I might not be able to control what the government does or Boris Johnson, but with others, I can influence. We do have an effect, especially if we come together. And that's the thing I wanted to draw out today. We're a community. Very often people are living isolated lives nowadays. That's the modern tendency. Working from home. Maybe even living alone. And I think it's important that we take these opportunities like we have to get a sense of we're connected with others, and we really are. That's the thing that I would want to go away with from these meditation sessions. Yes, we meditate. We're on our own. We enter into our own inner world, but we're not on our own. We are intimately connected. And I don't know about you, but I've had a sense of this in doing these meditations, especially as you get the comments popping up and good morning and welcoming everyone, whatever it is. It's not the message or what's said. It's the fact that we're all connecting, and we take the trouble to send a message. So. And it doesn't take much imagination to sort of get a sense of all these people, not just in York. There's people in Nottingham and Chorley and Blackburn and all sorts of places. I think there's somebody who works in Durham as well. Is it Lynn who works up there? So with a bit of imagination, you connect up with all these people, and it really is true. We have a community, and for me, that gives a sense of strength, and that kind of supports what we're trying to do. We're trying to develop loving kindness, not just on our own. Of course, it starts with us, but to remember, to bear in mind, you're with others. You're with other good people, people who share that same desire for good in the world. And not just a wishy-washy desire, a sort of a nice idea, but we have the practical tools now to start putting this into effect. Oh, and hello to Karen, who's in the North Norfolk coast. I know it well, well, parts of it. So yes, it does indicate we have a quite a reach, quite a spread. I was at a Manchester class a week last Saturday, and they had somebody from Norway joined on the Zoom. So yeah, that does sort of say something. So thank you, Sean. Thank you for your encouraging words. So anyway, enough chat. It's time to get down to it, as it were. And yeah, I mean, even entering into the meditation, we can sort of wish each other well. I was going to say good luck, but it's more about well wishing and heartfelt. Uh, wish that you're okay. You're in with a good crowd anyway. That's for sure. So just taking a moment, maybe taking one or two deeper breaths. Do a long breath out to rid yourself of all the nonsense, the stuff that can linger in your lungs. The way we start influences the rest of the meditation. So it's worth just taking a moment just to make sure we are fairly relaxed. Check the shoulders, are they a bit tense? Say to yourself, relax, relax. So we're doing the 5-stage loving kindness meditation, and I'll introduce each section as we come to it. Now, in this first stage, developing loving kindness towards ourselves. For some people, this is a real struggle. If you've been brought up to think it's self-indulgent, but no, we need to love ourselves. We need to appreciate ourselves. We need to give ourselves what we need. So right now, we can do that. We can give ourselves some loving space. We might drop in a simple phrase, something like, "May I be happy?" Perhaps reconnect with a time when you were happy. Just feel that, remember that. May I be well and healthy. And if you're not well at the moment, you can remember a time when you were and hope for improvement. Even when you're ill, you can practice. You can develop loving kindness. May I be making progress with my life. May I take the time to reflect on my life. I can remember times when people have been really kind. A gift that almost brought tears. The kindness of others is like a magic potion. You might bring to mind things people have said, some praise you received. It's not always easy to let that in, but we can let it in now. We can bring to mind people's appreciation, even people's love for us. Those magic words, "I love you." We can even use those words for ourselves. I love and appreciate myself. Now, after warming up our heart a little, hopefully, we turn to a good friend. And as I've mentioned before, it's not just a matter of seeing them and being a bit distant. We try to remember what it feels like to be in their presence. What do we experience when we're with them? Is there a warm glow? Do we just enjoy them? And then we wish them well. If we know them really, really deeply, We'll know what's going on for them. We might be concerned for them, or we might rejoice in things they've done. We might reflect, we're blessed to have a good friendship. It's a great boon to have a good friend. And in this special space, we can tell them we love them. We're very fond of them. We can even say what we admire about them. Just reflect for a moment. What are their good qualities? Is it the generosity? The trouble they take over birthday presents? We might learn from our friend, and that's a wonderful thing. We can't separate ourselves from the friend, so we can undertake to be a better friend. We might recall times we spent together, the laughter, the hugs, the communication that really meant something. This is one of the great benefits of a good friendship. You can share, they can share, and somehow or other you're just so much closer. And it's important that you both do that. Realizing the benefits of your friendship, you might be inclined to go that extra mile for them. Initiate things. Be a little adventurous. You might want more time together. You might send them a present, heaven forbid. But all the time you're wishing them well. Like you, they have their struggles, they have their off moments, but essentially they're a good person and you're fond of them. Perhaps in your imagination you can see them now. See them smiling, almost as though they're with you, they're watching now. These moments when you appreciate your friend will have an effect. So may they be well and happy, making progress with their life, feeling loved. Now we come to the person we don't know. Well, we can put a face to them, we might see them regularly, but this is an opportunity to make them more than just a face that passes. We can reflect, well, they're a human being just like me. They're living, breathing, They have their dreams and aspirations. So we consciously wish them well. And we broaden out our sort of view of them rather than just being a face we see. They have a family, they have friends, they have a work context. There's much more to them. They might have hidden talents. They might be a decent pianist, or they might love their artwork. There's very often much more to a person. So instead of just having a sort of a cardboard cutout view of a person, we be wishing them well, not just in a vague way, but more specifically. May they be happy in their terms, whatever makes them happy. And who knows, at some point, you might break the ice, you might be brave enough to speak and say hello or initiate something. And sometimes you can be so surprised at the response and that feeling of you've known this person for ages. And perhaps the next time you see this person, you'll reconnect with that feeling of wishing them well. It's not just a cold interaction at the supermarket checkout. You're summoning up positive feelings for them. Even as you're standing and waiting, you can be communicating or generating feelings of warmth and appreciation. We sometimes call this person the neutral person, but you can be sure they're not neutral to their loved ones, their family and friends. They might be well and truly loved and appreciated. So we wish them well. Now we come to what could be regarded as the real heart of the practice, turning around feelings for someone we've been finding difficult. It could be a long-standing difficulty. Might be someone who did us a wrong, and there's no chance of them admitting to that. But we're going to dig into our reserves of well-wishing and love and start the process of forgiveness and understanding. So we drop in that phrase, may they be well, may they be happy, fit and healthy, and may their life be going somewhere. We don't necessarily feel gushing love for them yet, if ever, but we can turn around the intention. And we can reflect that if we don't, if we harbour those difficult feelings, that will act as poison in our hearts. So maybe we reflect, well, I don't want to carry on feeling difficult with this person. So I'll spend some time trying to move on my feelings and then turn my attention to that person and start to realise there's much more to them than the difficulty I experience. Other people love them. Other people appreciate parts of them that I don't see. And I don't expect too much of myself. I don't berate myself for not forgiving and having love gushing out. But I have the intention that I will make some progress. I will start this, even if it feels like pushing a boulder up a mountain at the moment. I'll be brave enough to start this process. It's a wonderful thing to address this kind of difficult feeling. We're not bad people because we've been hurt and we find some people difficult. But at least we're brave enough to start looking at these difficulties. If it starts to become too difficult, we go back to the first stage and we wish ourselves well again. Take care of our hearts. Bring some tenderness to ourselves so that then we are able to go out a bit more and face the difficult feelings and the people we're experiencing in difficult ways. And that phrase, may they be well, may they be happy, that might go deep and it might mean something gradually. It's not just a superficial wish. We're training ourselves to have real, genuine love and forgiveness and concern for people. And we're patient with ourselves. So yes, may they so may they be well. May I wish for them everything I would wish for myself. May they be happy in their own terms. May my difficulties with them appear smaller and smaller and less of an issue. Now, in the final section, it's good to return to ourselves and even if it's just a moment, reconnect with our heart. Maybe we're a bit jangled now after trying to deal with the difficult emotions and the person we find difficult. So just another moment to sort of settle ourselves again, bring tenderness to our own hearts. And then we can move out again. The good friend, may they be well. The person who we don't know well, and the person we've got difficulties with. Wishing them all well before we start to reach out further. We don't put limits on this. We start to wish everyone in our local area, especially in our household, may they all be well. Any tensions, may they be cleared up, evaporated. May I move through the world with a loving heart. So you can imagine your local area, local environment, whether it's the North Norfolk coast, or Nottingham, or York. And you might see all these people doing whatever they have to do, going to the convenience store, driving off to work, getting the children ready. But we wish them well. And we wish them moments of reflection, moments of peace. We have such busy lives. So may everyone in our environment, our local area, find some peace and happiness. And we reach out further and further in our imaginations. We might see the whole of our city or town, the whole of our county. And if we want to, we can visit friends. In our imaginations, we can go anywhere in the country. For a moment, I was in North Norfolk then. And as we do this, we bring a warmth to those places and perhaps to those friends in different places. You might not see them often enough, but you can be with them in spirit, in your imagination. And that counts. That communicates some love. And we extend further and further. The whole of the UK. And in our imaginations, we can cover right over Europe. May all these people, may all these beings going about their lives, may they all be well and happy. And if you've got friends and people you know in different countries, you might bring them to mind. So I have a good friend in Poland, so I wish him well. Another friend in Moscow. I've got a brother in Germany. I could spend ages going round. But bringing them to mind and wishing them well is bound to have a positive effect. And gradually, in our imaginations, we cover the whole world. We go right round the world. And we don't stop at any borders, even nations that are so-called enemies. Everyone there needs love and appreciation. So we go right round the world. Every living being. We include the animals. So I hope that went well for you. I know some people have to sort of get off to work, but for anyone who can just stay for a moment or two, I really do want to read this poem by Ryakan. I really think he evokes a certain spirit that, especially in the busy sort of modern West, we can benefit from. So I'll just read this. The autumn moon. The moon appears in every season, it is true, but surely it's best in fall. In autumn, mountains loom and water runs clear. A brilliant disk floats across the infinite sky. And there is no sense of light and darkness, for everything is permeated with its presence. The boundless sky above, the autumn chill on my face. I take my precious staff and wander about the hills. Not a speck of the world's dust anywhere, just the brilliant beams of moonlight. I hope others, too, are gazing on this moon tonight, and that it's illuminating all kinds of people. Autumn after autumn, the moonlight comes and goes. Human beings will gaze upon it for eternity. The sermons of Buddha, the preaching of Eno, surely occurred under the same kind of moon. I contemplate the moon through the night, as the stream settles and white dew descends. Which wayfarer will bask in the moonlight longest? Whose home will drink up the most moonbeams? So this is the moment of goodbye. Wishing everyone a good day, yeah. And well, thank you, Karen. I think that mutual sort of appreciation and saying thank you really builds up this sense of community. And I think what we've been doing in these sessions is really wonderful. And of course, they're saved on YouTube and Facebook, although it's not called Facebook now. And well, I really do wish you well. I have felt part of a community. So yes, thank you, Chris, and may you go well. And well, who knows, that we might have a similar thing restarting at some point. But I want to thank Shaka Padar especially for asking me to be part of this this little team, this little community. Yeah. Thank you, Philip. I think it's so evocative, that point. Yeah. So go well, and yes, take what you can into your day. There might be moments when you return to these meditations and you feel that warmth in your heart. So thank you for being with me and allowing me into your meditation space. Go well. Bye bye now.